I called in backup today. This is the wise relationship sage, and she's going to give her perspective on where I'm going wrong in my love life and how you guys can be more productive when you're dating around this season.
That's high praise. I think you have bad luck. And I also
You
think
have phenomenal luck, though.
I have amazing
Oh
luck.
my gosh. On dating apps, after a week, I found my person. Welcome to Off-Brand Bubbly, where we talk about personal development, well-being, and minimalism. I've been trying to be super intentional when I'm dating now because, as you know, I've had a lot of regret in terms of like how much time I've spent focusing on the wrong things. So I'm trying not to like repeat those mistakes again. So I'm trying to make a conscious effort to understand myself better. Also like hone in on what matters to me, not necessarily like, oh, this person has to have a six-pack and they have to have a six-figure job and they have to be 6 feet tall. Those are nice, but those aren't really like what matter to me in my heart. By the way, Lucifer is taken, so if you want your 666 man, go find him elsewhere. It's great when you find those things, but how I'm treated is much more important to me than just how someone looks, and that's not what makes me fall in love with you.
I don't want to mess up the audio, but yes, ma'am.
That's what makes me infatuated with you. That's what makes me want to sleep with you. But if you're also a pig and you happen to have a six-pack, I'm not interested.
Marriage is what brings us together today.
There's a lot of good, like, legal shit that comes with being married.
You got a tax cut.
Yeah. If you decide to murder someone, you don't have to, like, testify in court. Anti-romantic today.
If you're murdering someone and your partner would testify against you, you have the wrong partner to begin with.
Well, you don't have a choice unless you want to commit perjury.
And? They said ride or die. You better die.
Mary, you have to come to play. You have to stand up so people see you. You're the star today. Do you think a lot of women are kind of lying to themselves when they say, I don't ever want to get married, just want to be casual?
No, I think if you don't want to get married, you don't want to get married, and that's fine. I didn't want to get married for...
It's weird to me, though, because, like, our generation, you meet so many people who are completely anti-marriage.
Look at what we grew up with.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Look at what we grew up with, and then really question...
So you realize you just don't want whatever your parents had?
Because we're taught that... Well, it's not that... I love my parents. I do.
Oh, I do, too, and, like... Full transparency, my parents are like a happy old married couple, so they're a wonderful example of what it means to be loved.
Your parents are an anomaly, truthfully.
Oh, I know.
It's the other parents that stay together for the kids, that stay together because that's what you're supposed to do, and then they have this toxic relationship, and then the child sees that, and then they internalize that as normality. Now, if you do the work to figure out that this isn't normal, and it shouldn't be acceptable, and it shouldn't be a standard, okay, great. Then maybe you'll be okay. But you're still going to have reservations about committing yourself by law to somebody because all you've seen is we're married so we have to stay together. We're married so we have to do this. We're married so we have to do that. No, I'm not doing anything because I have to do it, so bye with all of it.
I don't feel compelled to be married. The level of commitment I would want at some point. If I was like with someone for, say, a certain number of years and I wasn't with them, I'd seriously question as to like, why am I still with this person if I don't think they're deserving of that level of commitment for myself?
Why are you yelling to begin with? I just don't get it.
You want a sore throat? There are more fun ways to get a sore throat.
Have a conversation before it gets to that point.
Before you
want to explode
like
weird. It's so weird to me that that's just like a normal thing. I over-communicate. I saw this somewhere, it's not my quote, but it's not that communication is key, it's that comprehension is key.
Someone may not really understand what the deeper issue is.
Or just, they don't care to listen. I need a couple of days, honestly, to put my thoughts together and to weed out life stuff that really doesn't matter versus like what the actual core problem is, and then I can have a conversation about it, and that's fine.
Well, that's good, because like the emotions simmer down a bit, so you can finally have a constructive conversation.
Yes, and you can communicate it.
I think how you communicate your standards too means so much in like platonic relationships, your family, and romantic relationships. Every argument that you have can't be a yelling match, because otherwise no one really hears you. So it's been hard for me to not feel like I'm being hurt when my needs aren't being met if I haven't already communicated them. And that's been a big learning point for me, especially this year, to communicate my needs in a way that are kind, saying, okay, I hear you that you want something different than I do, but that's not what I want. That's not looking bad on you, it's just not what I'm looking for.
You, as a person, present the girl next door.
Bachelorette application coming soon.
Yes. Today.
My brother thinks that my type is nerdy asshole.
It is. You're someone that presents the wholesome American girl next door. There's nothing about you that screams like rebellion or anything like that. It's not until you get to know you that you see the parts of you that are like spicy and that are like fierce. It wasn't until, honestly, you started doing this channel where you started showing like your more like quirky and like nerdy side, and that's the authentic you. Like, that's who you've always been. But when you first meet you, that's not how you present. You'll fit the role. You'll just kind of be the suburban housewife. You'll have the kid if you want to have the kid.
Oh my god, like that's literally how I felt, that I was fulfilling a role for someone and that I was a placeholder, a kind of trophy. There's a lot more going on up here than you need from a trophy wife, so
no.
If you're looking for your mom, go elsewhere.
Yeah, but that's not what, you just wouldn't expect that looking at you.
I need to see that you're doing things in your life where you're trying to grow, you're trying to learn new things, you're trying to expand your horizons.
Yeah.
I don't want to date a potato.
That's fine. The potato can date a potato.
I might joke that I'm like a sad winter potato, like in my pajamas, but realistically, I do a lot in terms of self-care and how I want to grow. I want someone who can meet me on that level.
As you should. Which is why I'm saying that your man does not exist in this country. I'm a big boundaries person. I wasn't always.
It's my new favorite word.
Because, as it should be.
You are not allowed to play with me. I'm not a stuffed animal. You can't shelf me until it's convenient for you to hang out with me. Do you think that knowing and setting your boundaries is essential to communication?
Yes.
Yes. Full stop.
No, yeah. Oh, 100%. You don't have to know everything, period. You don't have to.
And you can change your mind.
It's not until you're in the situation that you can really look at it and process and say, okay, this is something that I like, or this is something that I don't like, or that I will allow or that I will not allow. If you're not put in that situation to begin with, you're not going to know that you need a boundary for that thing. Change your mind. Let them know about
I think
it.
that's an act of self-love too, realizing like, okay, I tried that out, it didn't work, it's not making me feel my best, so, you know, it's okay if I then change my mind. And I did that to myself too. It was like, oh, it's not a big deal, you have a lot of fun with this person, you really do connect with them on many levels, but I kept feeling hurt, because I felt that, you know, something in me is like, why do I not deserve commitment? And I started to internalize that, and then I realized, okay, I can't be the person who does casual dating, because I'm constantly going to feel less than, and like they're telling me, even if they're not, but they're telling me that I'm not worthy of that. But I know now, after all this shiz, that like I'm worthy of commitment on like an energy level, but also like with the label, whatever. I will add a card on the screen to one of Brittany Lee's videos. Her favorite quote is, know your value, and then add tax.
Yes, ma'am.
I want a
You
t-shirt.
better.
Please, somebody make me that merch so I can buy it. I'm trying not to get taken on another ride on a commitment train that I'm not interested on traveling.
Trying not to force a future. I was gonna ask if you think that you're in a place where you're able to like receive the type of love that you're looking for.
Right now, no, because I'm feeling kind of bitter from last week, fighting over someone who wasn't really investing in me. And that is like unfair to myself.
You spend so much time with people that don't deserve you. And it's not that they're bad people.
No.
Maybe I shouldn't say don't deserve you. No, I'll stick with it. That don't deserve you.
I don't think so, because I give a lot in relationships.
And that's...
So if someone isn't reciprocating that, it is so unfair to me.
And you think...
And time and effort and emotional energy, you end up drained. You're like giving, and the other person isn't giving you anything back.
And it's just... it's okay. Are you allowing it in your relationship? Because if you are, that's on you.
Now I'm not. I was allowing it for a very long time.
If you are, that's on you. Are you communicating it to them? Are you telling them, hey, this is something that I need that I'm not currently getting from you or from this situation? And if you're not happy, leave. Don't sit and try and make something work, because you know what? Someone's always going to be sad at the end of the day. You can either do it now, or you can wait a couple of years and invest more time and invest more energy and let your skin get more wrinkly, and then it's going to be that much harder to try and find someone.
Yeah, I know. My time is not a present. It's an investment, and I expect a return of my investment.
Yep.
Time, intention, and investment. Not always, but I'm now like keenly aware of my mortality. Probably because I have some like lingering regret that I don't want to like spend more time in something that isn't working for me. When I'm thinking about building something powerful and lasting with someone, I want to make sure someone's kind of showing me the same kind of investment that I'm willing to show them.
Yes.
And that, I think, is really the key to building a long-term relationship, is that someone is saying, I'm ready to build with you. I'm coming to the table and I'm showing you acts every day that help build our relationship together.
It's the same theme throughout this whole conversation, right? Somebody that is gonna give the way that you're giving as well.
I guess that goes into love languages, that goes into communication, talking about your standards, talking about your needs.